It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Hey, listen, I want to talk about a real important subject matter. You know, while everybody on social media is running around gallivanting as chosen ones, and you see all these people displaying their pride and arrogance, and you see all these people with a superiority complex. There's a real situation going on in the underbelly of American society. And it's somewhat happens globally, but in the heart of America is real prevalent in this time. And I'm talking about gang stalking. I'm talking about organized mobbing. I really want to get into this because while you have a lot of fakes, phonies, deceivers, liars, and just people who are just prideful, acting as if they're chosen, there's real chosen people who happen to be targeted. Now, a chosen one and a targeted individual is one of the same, because there's not a lot of people who bear the mark or bear the seal of the Most High. But the ones who do are under close scrutiny and observation. See, targeted individuals are people who have A, been a whistleblower of some sort, B, has social, political, or religious differences than the mass majority, C, are born with a certain bloodline that comes from a lineage that can be traced. Yeah, because you know they draw blood when you're born, right? Some of you all are in royal bloodlines, literally. Your ancestors were kings, queens, and so forth. Some of you all were actually born into royal families that caused problems for the Roman Empire. And this is why you have Red Cross Blue Shield. This is why in the hospitals, they're so fixated in taking your children's blood and things of that nature. See, there's real lists. There's real government files. There's real agencies that watch people. And some of you brothers and sisters are targeted individuals because of some of the things that I've listed. Not only that, some of you all broke the mold of the program, meaning during the 12 grades of learning, there was a dossier being generated on each and every one of us. And some of us were a lot more brighter than others in ways which the government or these agencies or the powers that be cannot contain. Some of you all were brilliant. And since the 12 grades of learning, they tried to get you into all kind of programs, all kind of systems. And it was only to kind of get a hold of your life and where they can mold and steer you in certain directions. It would be friends, family, colleagues, associates, teachers, guidance counselors. You know, certain people would try to kind of navigate your walk to keep you in the system in fear that you start to be a revolutionary, and in fear that you would influence others to think like you and think outside of the social confines of this matrix system, right? And so there are some people who have been targeted in society. This is a fact. And what you brothers and sisters got to understand, all you have who have been targeted, there's certain things that you may see in life taking place that are bizarre to you, to the point where you may not know how to actually speak it to others. You may not know how to really talk about what you're going through because people will slap a label on you as crazy. when you know there's certain synchronies going on in your life. You know there's certain people watching. And the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, when you've been targeted or placed on one of these lists, um, you're being watched by thousands of people. Like literally thousands of people are watching you all the time. I mean, they're studying your social media. They're studying everything about you. And you won't know that they're watching until you make a wave. A perfect example would be um, the fact that recently I've been on this whole campaign of destroying all of the liars who have taken the chosen one's talking point from myself in order for selfish gain, in order to make money and things of that nature. Now, a lot of these people responded immediately. People who was watching all along, but they didn't have nothing to say until they were called out. But they were always watching, they were always studying, they were always researching, and that's what they do. They play the cut. See, targeted individuals are actually a lot of innovators and pioneers of a lot that we see in American culture. And the idea is to basically weed these people out of society while extracting as much as they can from that person. See, ladies and gentlemen, gang stalking is really just a social experiment. It's all about experimentation. Some of you all may notice that when you come out of your home, there's somebody else coming out watching. There may be neighborhood watch following you. You may be in the grocery stores and you can physically see like, yo, why are these people following me around? Like, what is going on? You may see people taking cell phones out, snapping pictures. Like, these things really exist. And I gotta bring this to the forefront because while everybody thinking they chosen ones are so brilliant and so great, and all these people who are not going through a motherfucking thing in life, which makes it even more sickening to me, because these people are not going through these things because they're just like the majority of the world, trying to line their pockets, trying to, act a certain way, thinking that they're holier than thou, prideful, arrogant, everything that's against what a real chosen one would be. And they're really not going through anything. See, you can't take the label of a quote unquote chosen one and you don't even understand the persecution that really comes with it. You don't understand the close observation and scrutiny that comes with that. Because a targeted individual is one who actually has the ability to reach people in a positive way. And that is a threat to the establishment. That's a threat to the establishment. And these people really do play a lot of games, man. They close a lot of doors of opportunities for real people who really bear a light. People are finding it difficult to find places to live. Their credit gets messed with all the time. We talking about people who get their social medias hacked all the time. We talking about people who get scam calls 24/7, bro. We talking about people who get their personal space invaded by the rental offices and just weird things where the maintenance people are entering your home while you're not there, or you're unaware they're going to show up. Like, these kind of things happen to real chosen ones because they're constantly being watched. But at the same time, it's one of those situations where the Most High doesn't want us to be comfortable in a society like this. We're too great to be comfortable in a wicked, morally rotten, decrepit, sick world. And so it's being used to chastise us. It's being used to try us like go through the furnace. We're being tried by fire. And it's because the Most High don't want us to be comfortable in these situations. He wants us to have our own. He wants us to have our own land, our own grocery stores, our own businesses, our own homes that we build from the ground up, our own food, our own environment, our own police force. Like, the Lord wants that for us. But we have to be in such a place of discomfort that we start breaking the chains of our mind and actually walking towards that, leaning towards self-sufficiency. Because when you think about it, when you target it, all the things I just listed is what they attack. Literally, they attack the food. Some of us get poisoned. You know, they attacked noise campaign. They attack the actual the food. They attack our living arrangements, our living situations. They attack everything. They do everything they can in their power to make us uncomfortable, but we got to lean into that. We're not supposed to be comfortable. We're not supposed to be comfortable. You know, people who have been targeted got to experience helicopters flying over their homes at a very low very low place, you know, disturbing their peace. I mean, these things are real. There is actual documents on these things that you can read up on. There's former CIA agents that talk about these programs that people are placed on, you know? So meanwhile, while everybody's running around talking about their chosen ones, and they're really not, they can't speak on what I'm talking about right now. They cannot put into words what I'm describing to them, where you feel like all eyes is on you, and not in a way in which everybody is just gravitating towards you because of your magnetism, because you're so great, because there's a light in you. No, there's hate that goes on, and you are a threat to the establishment, to the system. And they do a lot of things, man. And a lot of people are battling. We living in a prison planet. We living in a planet where you're not supposed to have freedom of thought. You're not supposed to think outside of the box. You are supposed to be like the rest of the sheeple and believe everything that you hear. And these people who claiming to be chosen ones, they're not going through these things. They haven't been put on these lists. They haven't been stalked. They haven't had smear campaigns placed against them. They haven't had their own family members actually betray them and put them on certain lists. They haven't had people try to get them committed. You understand? Because what I'm saying right now is factual, but to the average Joe that's listening, yo, that sounds kind of like paranoia. You know, you sure that's not schizophrenia? No, it's actually real. You're living in a world that is similar to the Matrix. There's a lot of Agent Smiths. And I need you to understand how spiritual this is. It's a simulation. It really is. When I talk about the skinwalkers and the meat suits and all of these individuals, some of these entities don't even have control over their own vessel. They do things that's just out of pocket, and they have no control on it. They don't even know that they're part of Satan's system, and they're being manipulated by the puppet master to do the things they do. They don't even understand. And there was one content creator that I called out, and this content creator that I called out just reacted to his content. He said he's gonna go run to Google. He's gonna go run to Google. That's what he said he was gonna do. He's gonna run to Google. He's gonna report my channel on YouTube, then made a community post telling all of his subscribers to go report my channel to YouTube, falsely claiming I cyberbullied him, and all I did was react to his content, doing commentary and criticism. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, in what world can people let that fly? In what world do people applaud that kind of behavior unless the mass majority of people are agents out here? What world is that okay where people like, yo, yeah, that flies, even though that brother didn't threaten you, that brother didn't threaten you with any bodily harm? That means there's a lot of people who are working for these agencies. There's a lot of NPCs. There's a lot of wicked deceitful people. There's a lot of people who are more attached to the matrix and the system and the program than the actual God of all gods. So it's literally good versus evil, and it's a lot more evil out there than good. It's a lot more evil out there than good, y'all. Anytime people can applaud that. I mean, it's gotten to the point where you got people now that are disrespecting the Bible, literally disrespecting it, and people are applauding that too. See, it's all working towards weeding out God from the system, weeding out truth from the system. And anybody who speak up is a threat to that system. Chosen ones who are targeted individuals. Let me break this down to you. In the near future, we'll pretty much be outlawed in society. We're talking about a social credit system right there on the brink. We'll pretty much be outlawed in society. Why? Because we read from the word of the Most High. Because we refuse to get the mark of the beast. We refuse to plug into the system. Revenant engines, all of that. We refuse to do those things. So that's what it is. Somebody said, I just experienced something similar and I got it on dash cam. I feel like I just barely escaped their trap, as in an orchestrated traffic accident. That is something else that happens. And that's very real. They orchestrate traffic accidents. You know, they'll rear end you while you're driving. They like to rear end real chosen ones, real targeted individuals at red lights. They like to come and try to damage property. They like to leave things outside of your door. A lot of them are witches and warlocks who cast spells. And the reason I tell you it's so spiritual, because when you slipping off and you're not on the righteous path and you leave the trail for even a second, you give these witches and warlocks a point of entry. You give them a point of access in which they can cause disruption in your life. So, you know, it's important that we stay on the straight and narrow. It's important that we stay prayed up. It's important that we stay doing what we need to do, because it's a spiritual war. Remember, the scripture says we battle not against flesh and blood, but wickedness and principalities in high places. You know what I'm saying? It's a real war out here. And you got to understand, a lot of people are threatened by your presence. But at the same time, they're trying to extract from you as much as they can. John 15:18, if the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world will love its own, but because you are not of the world, they hate you. Real talk. And that's really what goes on. I'm telling you, y'all. I'm telling you. And listen, a lot of people look at us as being quote unquote negative, right? How many of you targeted individuals have been labeled negative or something's wrong with you just for bringing out facts, just for bringing out truth, which shows you that the people are under a delusion. They want to be happy-go-lucky, and they're gaslighting you. A lot of times, these people around you are gaslighting you. They know what's going on around you because they're part of it. But at the same time, they're going to say, well, maybe you just being negative. Maybe. No, I'm telling you something that's a real concern of mine with how people are maneuvering within this family, within this church, within this workplace, or within this household. I'm voicing my concerns with you about how things are going. Has nothing to do with being negative, but they'll gaslight you. And they'll keep this happy-go-lucky type of thing going on when things ain't okay. You ever been in a situation, brothers and sisters, where you know things just ain't okay? And you know things are wrong. You know things are going in the wrong direction, and you have to say something because you can see everybody going off the cliff. You can see everybody going in a direction where they're going to go into their demise. But you're warning them, and they just still going with a smile on their face. That's what this matrix is, man. It's the same thing in the Truman Show. When you watch the Truman Show movie with Jim Carrey, everybody was all happy-go-lucky. Everybody was smiling, giving crocodile smiles and whatnot. And this man is trying to tell everybody around him, like, yo, I'm noticing all these syncrasies. Yo, he's Jim Carrey at one scene, he's talking to his wife. He's like, wait, watch this. There's gonna be a yellow car that drive by. Then the mail truck is gonna drive by. And then this person's gonna walk by whistling a song. Watch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. And it all happens. It all happens. Just like he said it would happen. Exactly how he said it was going to happen. It happens. And she smiles, rolls her eyes, kind of gives a cringy smirk, as if it's not reality. As if it didn't happen. Because these people are in the matrix. They in the system. They're NPCs. They can't see what you can see. They can't see what you can see. So you become foreign to the people around you. And you wouldn't even be able to fathom how many people be involved in this. To the point where you will go into a place where you trying to apply for something. You trying to get something done. And you start to notice, and you can almost guess it. You can almost predict when you're going to have a hard time doing certain things. Things that should be simple. Things that's easy for most people to do. You can practically predict the difficulties you're going to face. And it's because you've been targeted. It's because you've been targeted because of the things I listed at the beginning of the video. Now you see how I put everything in concepts. I'm letting you know what attributes, what characteristics of a targeted individual. Somebody said all praises to the Most High and Christ. Peace, New Breed, bro. And the chat. This is me trying to stay afloat for the Most High God and Christ for the mission. Pray for me, New Breed. Man, you know, you got everybody's prayers who up in here, man, because, you know, we going through it. I'm going to take a walk. Get that leg work in while I'm rapping to y'all, man, because it's real. It's real. And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, the life of a targeted individual is a life of discomfort. But what you must realize is the prophets of old, the teachers, the preachers, man, they were all in a time of uncertainty. When you really study the scriptures, they were all living in times of uncertainty. None of them were certain. They had to literally pick up their cross and carry it. They had to leave things behind. They had to leave the world behind. You know, Christ was like, look, sell everything and follow me. It took a great deal of faith. It took a great deal of faith for these brothers to be like, you know what? I know I got this going on and that going on, but I'm down for the mission. I'm going on this mission. And that was the greatest thing that they decided to do. You know what I'm saying? And these men were still doing their jobs, you know. Like, you know, use Peter, for example. He was a tent salesman. You know, you had disciples that were fishermen. You know, you had disciples, you know, Christ himself was a carpenter. So they were still working, but they was down for the mission. You know what I'm saying? They was out doing what they needed to do to get the word out. And guess what? They were targeted for it. Literally. The Roman Empire was hiring spies. Let me tell you, bro, it ain't nothing new under the sun. The Roman Empire was hiring spies to watch Christ and the disciples, the power that they had, you know what I'm saying? And that's what was going on, and it goes on to this day. When we speaking the truth, when we admonishing, when we correcting, when we make a certain post on social media, when we calling out the BS, when we being set apart, when we not holding our tongues, and we being authentic and being righteous, man, you think in this society now that people not watching? It's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people watching. Somebody always watching. Always watching. That's rule number one. Somebody's always watching. I'm telling you. Yeah, there are people watching now as I walk. There are people watching. This is how it works. But what you got to understand is this. We bold as lions. We we understand that this is a spiritual war. I'm not saying any of these things to promote or generate fear, but I do need you to understand the severity of the situation. I don't need targeted individuals to be ignoring the discomfort, because that's the Most High pulling at you, letting you know, hey, there are moves that need to be made. Um, there are things that need to be done. Um, and we need to be building on our own. He wants us to be set apart. Somebody said, and don't hide from it either. Remain uncomfortable in uncomfortable places, right? You can't really hide from it. Only thing you could do is move accordingly. I'm telling you. Like, we at a point in time where the world has truly been given into the hands of the wicked. And when you really sit back and analyze what's going on, you really begin to understand that we are not going to ever be happy in this matrix. It's impossible. It's an impossibility. I remember many years ago, I figured out that I have to go on a path towards being free. And if you go dig back in my archives and videos, man, I've been talking like this for a while. There's videos with me out in nature, just kind of talking about, thinking outside of the box, thinking outside of the country, and this came to me many years ago, because one thing about it is there was always this daunting, looming concern that I couldn't quite put my finger on. I couldn't quite understand what was happening around me. But when you being targeted, you cannot believe, you can't believe in coincidences, number one. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Things just don't just be happening. Things are not just, everything is relative. Everything is a puzzle. You understand? And as you live life, you begin to realize, like, we really like in player one. It's like we're living in player one. And you think about life, a lot of people around you are just like side characters in movies. Extras. They really don't serve no purpose. See, targeted individuals are the main characters of this movie. Everybody else is just extras. When you see extras in a movie just in the background doing what they doing, that's what they are. They're not really serving a purpose. A lot of them don't know who the Most High is. They don't know who God is. They're not in truth. They're not seeking the Creator. They're not seeking righteousness. They're not trying to build nothing. They're okay with the everyday rigmarole, and they're okay with not being enlightened. They're okay without knowing the adversary that they have. They okay. The people, the powers that be tell them to go down and go get the what, they go do it. The powers that be tell them, hey, there's something in the air that's doing this, that, and the third. They believe it. Stay in the house. They go tell you whatever they tell you. These NPCs, they believe it. They believe everything they hear. They're just extras. They're just background characters. But see, here's the issue. When you a real chosen one, when you're a targeted individual, there's a loneliness that comes because you realize that you're not getting any real connection with people, because other people like you are few and far in between. Other people who do desire truth, who are seeking righteousness, who are trying to consecrate their flesh, people who are trying to see some real freedom, people who really are seeking the Creator, they're few and far in between. So now you don't have these connections that you're supposed to be having because everybody around you ain't right. And now you trying to fit in. Now you trying to, dwindle down your light. Now you trying to, kind of put yourself, dumb yourself down, so to speak, and be somebody that you really not, just to have that connection with people. And that's not living, bro. That's not living. We're supposed to be in our own communities among like-minded people who have culture. We're supposed to be around people who are trying to raise family just like you trying to raise family and just be at peace. We're supposed to be somewhere that's sovereign, where these agencies just can't come up and start messing with you. And that's one thing about it. When you see a lot of these so-called chosen ones on the internet, they're not developing nothing like that because it's not in them to develop nothing like that. Listen, you talking to a man who done been to Africa, been to Liberia, met up with dignitaries, acquired a massive amount of land in North Carolina. You talking to somebody who's doing land walks to try to establish something for our people in the future. You're talking to somebody who is really trying to build something. Now, the ones who call themselves chosen ones, they're not doing that because it's not in them to do that. They only want to make their own, they only want to line their own pockets up because it's all about selfishness with them. It's selfish energy, right? They're not thinking about the greater good. They're not thinking about the rest of the people, because it's not in them. And it's because they didn't go through what we've been through. They never felt the discomfort, the discomfort I'm talking about, because it's not in them. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? It's not in them. So when things happen in this society, they're not going to be prepared for what's to come because the Lord did not choose them. They chose themselves. Remember, the Lord says, I who choose you. These people chose themselves. Do you understand? And that's why they're taking care of themselves. They're not thinking about other people. So you have to go through it to understand it. You have to go through the sleepless nights, the noise campaigns, the nosy neighbors, the neighbors who are trying to trigger you, gaslight you to the point where you will lose your freedom because you about ready to strangle one of these You understand? You about ready to crash out. They ain't even been in those situations, bro. They ain't been in them situations before. They haven't really been tried to the point where they have fed up. And it don't matter how much money you getting. It don't matter what you doing. It's people going through this in all walks of life. Do you understand? It's people going through this in all walks of life, bro. Yeah, they haven't been through what I'm talking about. They cannot possibly relate to what I'm saying. It's an impossibility because they haven't been chosen. Listen, all of this soothsaying that we hear going on, it got people not understanding what comes with the territory. They think they're all great. They think they're magnificent, brilliant, intelligent, beautiful light bearers who haven't been through the fire. They don't understand what really happens when you really have been targeted. I'm talking about there's brothers out there who have been targeted by law enforcement because, they may have beat a case that they wasn't supposed to beat. They made the police department look bad. They made the judge and the jury and them look bad. Now they got enemies. Now all of a sudden, they getting really, really harassed. Why? That's a targeted individual right there because they beat a case that they were innocent of, but the law was trying to pin it on them and it just didn't work. These things happen. Like, life is too real for these people to be playing, I know real people who go through real things, bro. And I'm a person who been through real things. I'm not just going to get online and claim chosen one and all of this. No, we've been targeted to get here. And that's another reason that talking point even developed, which is an original talking point. Another reason it developed was because I kept saying targeted individuals, which that's what they're labeled. That's what we're labeled. But I had to try to put something on it that would make it more empowering for us, because their goal is to aim at our self-esteem. The whole program wants to aim at our self-esteem. Don't you get it? They don't want us to be able to put trust and faith in ourselves. So me saying chosen ones was to try to give us some confidence that, yo, we can do this. We can rise above. We can establish something on our own, in which we can. And I started calling us empowered individuals. That developed to chosen ones. And then now everybody's a chosen one. So it don't even matter now. Even though the Bible say many are called, few are chosen. Now everybody a chosen one. But that's neither here nor there. The point I'm trying to make is they wanted to battle your self-esteem. They want you to feel like you know what I'm saying, you can't overcome what they place before you. But you can. You can. You know what I'm saying? It just means you have to cleave closer to the Creator. It means you have to elevate on a different frequency. It means you got to get different. It means you have to get people out of your life who are detrimental, and they're not going to help you get where you're going. You can't let these people keep gaslighting you. People around you who don't really have your best interests at heart, they got to go. People of no substance can't be around you. You literally can't hang with average people. You have to be around people who are top tier. Your whole circle has to be a circle of people who are top tier. Do you understand? Somebody said, facts, brother. Then you start talking light on yourself and those demons get mad, right? Absolutely. When you start speaking confidently, you know, they have to go back to the drawing board. And that's the thing. Somebody said, among 1,000 who seek me, one finds me. Among 1,000 who finds me, one follows me. And among 1,000 who follows me, one is mine. Yo, what scripture is that? Share the actual scripture. Share the actual scripture. See, you got to understand. When you target it, there are whole towns that are against you. Whole communities, covens. Literally, they have whole covens that are assigned to one man, to one woman, a whole coven, which shows you how powerful a lot of targeted individuals really are. But see, when I talk about this, you got to understand the reality of it. And if you go dig through my archives, through a lot of my old videos, I bring out a lot of paperwork. I mean, you really got to study. Right now, I'm outdoors. I'm not going to the specific paperwork, the documentation, the confessions from CIA operatives, FBI operatives. I'm not going to the news clips right now. I'm not doing a reactionary video right now. Somewhat you have to go and dig. Go into my archives. It's all there. Watch some of the older videos from years ago when I was talking about this topic. And you'll see that this is not just coming from a place of like, yo, this stuff, you know, New Breed's just making something up as a fad or something like that. No, it's reality. It's the reality of our culture. Ever since the Patriot Act, it got turned up a notch. Ever since 9/11 and that Patriot Act, it's been, hey man, it's been full-fledged since then. It really has been. Somebody said they had the DNA kit they sent me listed as exempt human specimen. See, stuff like that. Exempt human specimen, you see? That means they're gonna, certain people get treated like second-class citizens. Like, yo, you would be foolish to believe that there's not certain people in this reality, in this matrix, that are born to be treated as second-class citizens. People who are born to be treated as less than human. People who are born to be treated, to be limited. But see, the Most High breaks those chains. He breaks the generational curses. He like the people who are born against all odds is who he be using. You don't get it. The people who are born against all odds is the people who he be using. There's a lot of times when people are born with a silver spoon, they never see the light of the day. You got to be tried through the fire. When you're born with a silver spoon, it's very difficult for you to see what's going on in the undercarriage, in the underbelly. And that the Lord will use those people. I'm telling you. And doing this work as long as I've done it, man, I have spoke to people from all walks of life. I'm talking about, man, I've spoken to people from all races, all cultures, people who have, been born into covens, people in the suburbs who actually seen satanic rituals take place right in their home, in their basement. I'm talking about real people who was born into some things that will confirm and verify everything I'm saying. I'm talking about people who've seen blood sacrifices right there in their face and have been scarred for life. You know how many people asked to come on the show and let me interview them because they had receipts about certain things. But I've turned those interviews down because I understand the guidelines. And I understand there's certain things that we just can't put out there. But I know that these stories are real. I know that there's people born in family environments where, the whole family are straight Jesuits, or the whole family are so deep into the Masonic world that anywhere that person goes who's born into that family, they're watched everywhere. They're watched everywhere. They're targeted. They're chosen. Why? Because they have to fight everything. They have to go against all odds to find truth and find peace and go and find a place to establish themselves. It's like the Most High have used people who were born into some of the craziest situations to break the chains. And this is something that a lot of these people can't talk about because they don't understand it. They don't get it. They haven't been through what targeted individuals have been through. They don't understand. They don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like to move somewhere. You can move to another state. And these entities, these demons, these forces, these people who are meat suits have a way of letting you know that they still know you, know where you at. They still there. They have a way of showing you. They don't know what that's like to move from state to state to state. And these adversaries still letting you know that, okay, yeah, we know you making moves, but yeah, we there. We there. They can't do nothing to you because there's spiritual laws in place. Yeah, the fight is not for the lighthearted. The fight is not for the lighthearted. You're not seeing these people talking about street theater. You're not seeing these people talk about what really happens, how these people orchestrate against the targeted people. People want the perks of being chosen and empowered, but they don't want to talk about what the real targets, what the real chosen ones had to go through to even be able to be tried. What the real chosen ones had to go through to even be able to communicate this. And that's what the whole program was about, trying to stop you from being even able to communicate what's being done. Like for all the people who watch me from other countries, who's trying to get over here in America. I got people, brothers and sisters in Africa. I got brothers and sisters in Jamaica and various places, various islands. Let me tell you something. I know that you may be dealing with certain ills in your society. But when I tell you, these people out here are just really demonic and evil, and they plot and they watch and they do it in such a sophisticated manner, and it's so daunting at times. You don't want no part. You don't want no parts of this out here. It's better that you be living somewhere where you around fresh air, where you got trees around you, where there's fruit to eat off the tree, where you can climb up the coconut tree, eat that fruit, and you ain't got to worry about agencies, where you can be about 5-6 miles above sea level, and there ain't no agents coming up the mountain. There ain't no agents bothering you, bro. Like, you in a better situation to a big degree. It's like a prison here, man. Real talk. I'm telling you some real talk. A bunch of agents, a bunch of NPCs, everybody a snitch, everybody a damn fed. You got a whole content creator talking about he gonna go report somebody to Google. And a mass majority of people that, listen, that post got over 2,000 likes. That means that's 2,000 people right there that want to see my downfall. Falsely. Think about that. Think about that, y'all. That's over 2,000. It may even be 3,000 people who liked it by now. That's over 3,000 people that want to see me fall, right? I didn't know these people even existed, but they were watching. And this dude is talking about, I'm going to go snitch, I'm going to go run to Google. And nobody was like, yo, that's foul, because he didn't threaten you. That man didn't cyberbully you. All that man did was react to your content. But no, bro, this land is full of snitches, bro. They all want to go to the system. That goes to show you they all want you on a list, man. They all want you on a list. Somebody said, bro, you attacked them. See, let me show you how soft people are. Me reacting to somebody's content is attacking them. Do you know, put the word, do you even know the definition for attack? Do you even know the definition for attack? I'm well within my rights to react to people's content, especially when they're stealing my content. But I'm telling you, bro, that's how sad it is. If you say something that offends somebody, their first thought is to run to the powers that be. That's their first thought. Oh, he criticized me. He criticized me. He's attacking me. I'm attacked. Now imagine you living in a prison planet like that, where you can't correct somebody, you can't criticize somebody, you can't react to something. Do you know how pathetic and weak that is, bro? Bruh. That is so sick. That is so sick. We living in a sick society. Yo, I'm disgusted with people, bro. I'm just disgusted. They all just want to work for these agencies. They all want to be snitches. They all want to get their 30 shekels. They all want to just, oh man, it's such a weak place we live in, bro. I mean, I'm damn speechless, bro, at people, bro. And no, don't get it twisted. I'm not worried about nothing. Ain't nothing fitting to happen over here, because the Most High God got me. He got me in every way, shape, and form. I'm protected because I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm doing his will. I'm doing what needs to be done and what's supposed to be done. But see, you have so many people who want to put y'all on list. You got so many people who want to ruin you. You got so many people out here who are calling them alphabet groups on you. That's who they rely on, because you're a threat to their everyday goings. You're a threat to the lies. When you break in the lies, man, all they can do is snitch. All they can do is call the agencies. Do you know, when the pandemic was happening, there were certain phone lines that were set up for people who wasn't wearing masks. There were phone lines set up for people who didn't want to, you know what? And it was people's families were getting cash rewards. See, this is something that was going on in the underbelly of America. Now, you're supposed to have the freedom, and you're supposed to have privacy when it comes to your medical decisions. But in the underbelly of America, This is what was going on. People were putting people's names on lists for not making certain medical decisions. That's crazy. The same 2,000 something odd people, 3,000 something odd people who like that comment, who like that post, those are those kind of demons right there that will put your name on the list. Those the type of demons, and listen, that's the mass majority of people. That's the mass majority of people. It's some sneaky, just conniving snake people out here, bro. It's no different than the people running to Pontius Pilate or running to Pharaoh or running to the Roman Empire. That's like running to the Greeks. I'm telling you, bro, it's nothing new under the sun, bro. And y'all get to see this stuff publicly. Y'all get to see this stuff publicly, how these demons operate. And it's the mass majority. That's why the Most High dealing with the outcasts. That's why the Most High dealing with people who willing to face persecution for him. That's why the Most High dealing with people who only trying to do right, who would die on their sword before they lie on the Lord. Real talk. They don't build people like that no more. Yeah, that's just like that's crazy. And that's what goes on in these programs in general. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly like that. Somebody said the enemy was still. It's when he does so worrying about them in general isn't worth it. But calling it out what it is fruits of the spirit. Right. And that's what I'm doing, calling it out, man. Somebody said crazy world, they will run you over to get to the stop sign. Facts. Somebody said time eventually had to bite its own tail to be free from it. Yeah, man, I mean, will this society change in the right direction far as the agencies and the program stopping? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're gonna have to do this on our own. And see, that's another thing. You can't be afraid to put in the work, the actual leg work. You can't be afraid to move from one town to the next. Listen, the scriptures tell you that you would be hated in your hometown. It tell you would be hated in the place where you were born, the place where you trying to thrive and succeed. It tell you that. You have to move. Like, listen, targeted individuals, if you have been targeted, if you fit the description of what I listed, if you have undergone these certain things that I put in this video, you have to move. You have to make moves. The scriptures tell us if you are persecuted in one town, flee unto the next. You know, if you are going through something that you can't quite quantify in words, and it's in an environment where you feel like there's some level of you being stagnated, there's some level of pretty much, there's a ceiling that you feel like you just can't break free from. And it gets overwhelming, like to the point where you almost feel like you can't breathe. It's overwhelming. That's the best way I can describe it. If you've ever felt like that, if you feel like that now in your environment, that's the time to make moves. Do you understand? That's the time to make moves. I don't know who this message is for. I only know that I know what real chosen ones, I know what targeted individuals have endured over the years. I know what the program is all about. I understand the in and outs, the inner workings of it, how they pick and choose who they're gonna target. I get all of that. But if you're a person who goes through these things, it is what it is. Somebody said, from happiest I've been in 10 years to being rejected by everyone around me in one day. Everyone I know is telling me to get meds. Wow, that's another thing they try to do, put you on meds. Somebody said, big ups to you on standing on your word. You called out something as falsehood as a person that is in a state of denial wants to hold on to what they deem to be true is a lie. It's safer to believe them. Right. Yeah, man. It's real talk, man. 2 Timothy 4:2 tells us to reprove, rebuke. You're doing nothing wrong, brother. Absolutely. I appreciate that. And for the record, I ain't second guessed not one time whether what I'm doing is wrong. That's never been even in question. So, but I do appreciate that. I appreciate you verifying, but man, I'm telling you, and not at one point that I question me tearing down the whole chosen one community. At not one point did I say to myself, yeah, you wrong for this, Breed. Nah, that was inspired by the Most High. Because you gotta understand, the way I did feel was I felt like I went too long without saying anything. And I still feel that way. I feel like that should have been done a whole lot sooner. A whole lot sooner. And I feel like if the Most High, when he commanded me to do what I did, if I didn't do it, I'd be in a lot of trouble. I do feel that. If I didn't start tearing these guys down and tearing them apart and exposing their spirits and letting y'all know what they up to, the Most High would have really brought some judgment to me for that. Because that means I wasn't being a watcher. That means that I was, pretty much negligent. I wasn't doing my job. How could he give me such a powerful talking point that spread all over social media and I just let it grow legs and become a monster and just run around just terrorizing everything, just ruining everything without saying nothing? Like, I'd have been really held accountable for that, because the scriptures tell you that the blood will be on my hands if I didn't tell the people, like, yo, these people are not real. These people are just trying to make money, bro. Now, if you choose to go over there and listen to that stuff, that's on you. I mean, I can't help what people want to listen to. It's not that at all. But long as I put it out there, you can watch what you want to watch. I did my job. You can fall for what you want to fall for, because I did my job. Because everybody who watching my platform is watching theirs. Everybody watching each other. So if you're using a discerning heart and you weighing everything through the parameters of the scriptures, you can know who's telling the truth and who's lying. You choose what you're going to follow. Like I said before when I was doing this, I said, look, I expect the mass majority to be in agreement with evil, because the Bible says broad leadeth to damnation. Narrow is the path to salvation. And as the time moves on, as the time crunches, it's going to be more people following evil than good. There's going to be more people following the broad path to destruction than what's right. And that was proven when all those people was okay with just nonsense. When all those people over there is okay with that one dude mocking the Bible, mocking the scriptures. Y'all was okay with that, which shows that those people over there ain't chosen ones anyway. That's people of the world. And I'm okay with that. The people of the world can hang out with the people of the world. I'm not here to stop the people of the world who want to condemn and disrespect the Bible. I'm not trying to preach to them. They're going to have their place in the lake of fire anyway. So what is the point? Long as the very select few, I don't care if it's 10, 20, 30 people who say, you know what? Yeah, man, I'm not entertaining these Judas goats and these liars and deceivers. I'm finna get out of it. I'm stop entertaining this because I wanna keep my soul. You know what I'm saying? Then I did my job. I did my job. Somebody said, just ignore him, bro. You better than that. Ignore what? I'm not going to ignore nothing. You must have missed this whole saga that took place. I'm not ignoring nothing. I'm calling it out. Which of course I'm going back to my regularly scheduled content. You know, I'm doing what I'm doing. I just really wanted to kick it with y'all and talk about what a targeted individual is, because when you really begin to understand what a targeted individual is, it really puts more understanding on what a chosen one is. Because you get targeted when you really are an innovator, when you really a Renaissance man or a Renaissance woman, when you really somebody who is the target, you are the one that they're extracting information from. You are the one that's being secretly watched by thousands. You are the one where they're gaining their inspiration and insight from. You are the one that has to undergo the experiments, the human experimentation. And it just so happens within my community, the quote unquote black community, the system has been experimenting on us forever. When you look at movies like Who Cloned Tyrone and, you know, different movies, listen, that's what it's always been about. They always been trying to study, prick and prod at God's chosen people. So when you are that person, you know, you always going to be watched and observed. And they're going to study you, and they're going to see what they can take from you. They're going to constantly extract from the targeted individual. That's just how the system works, because you the energy, and that's just what it is. God's chosen people who have been targeted are the energy. They are the vibe. So people are going to watch and see, all right, let's experiment on this. Let's see what we can take. Let's see what we can get away with. That's how it is. Straight up. But I'm not here to tickle no ears. I'm not here to do that. I'm telling you the attributes of this person. Somebody says you got a bigger platform. No, I went against some giants. I went against giants. I went against people who had bigger platforms than mine. Yes, I went against a man who had 2 million followers. I went against one who had over almost 300,000 followers. But guess what? That don't matter. Because it's big. And you know, for the person who said you got a bigger platform, I appreciate you saying that, because I do have a bigger platform spiritually. There's more strength coming out of this platform than those platforms. I'm glad you said that. Because my words, the words that the Most High gave me, the utterance he gave me, is so much more powerful than theirs. It seems like I'm the bigger platform. That's a blessing, man. All praises to the Almighty, because it feels like I'm the bigger platform, don't it? It really does, don't it? Nope. Just feels that way. But the truth is, those are big platforms, but it don't matter. Because the truth is bigger than all of it. The truth is bigger than all of it. The truth, listen, the Bible says that the truth, the word, his word, it cut through bone and marrow, it cut through buildings. Listen, the truth sliced down empires. That's what y'all need to understand. That's why in this walk, as targeted individuals, people who really been through the scrutiny and been through what I'm speaking about, bro, what I'm trying to tell you is the word is our protection. The word is everything. The word is like our sword. We're supposed to put on the full body armor of the Most High. Our buckler, our shield, and everything that's attached. So, you know, it is what it is. Yep. But man, it is what it is. I just wanted to come through with this this material here. I got more stuff going on later on. What's going on with you, sir?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you moving?
Yeah, my girlfriend,
Oh, okay.
young lady there, she's moving out.
Oh,
She ain't
okay.
been here. She only been here about a year.
Yeah. That's
About a year, she moving out.
okay. You was just helping her
Yeah.
move.
Huh?
You was helping.
Oh, no. I
Oh.
live right there.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
How you been, man?
I'm hanging in there. Where you got, camera?
Yeah, I got some. I'm doing some live streaming right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But man, I definitely catch up with you.
Did that pick up good?
Yeah, pick up pretty good.
Oh yeah.
This a good man right here, man. I've had some conversations with this man here. This a war legend right here, a hero. You understand? This a hero right here. Yeah, this just my YouTube.
Okay.
So, but most definitely, man, I'm gonna catch up with you. I'm gonna
Okay.
finish
Well,
this
you
up.
take care, man.
Yes, sir. Will do. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, man. Yeah, that man be telling me a lot of stories, man, about things he's seen. It's a good man though. Yeah, man, but it is what it is, brothers and sisters. I'm actually about to close this stream out. I got some moves to make, some things to take care of. Look, y'all stay safe out here, stay in the faith, stay bold. Don't let nobody get to you, man. Stay in your righteous space. Y'all be safe out here. With that being said, shalom and peace. Hold on, YouTube didn't change this. How you in the stream? Okay. They done switched it up. All right, y'all, peace.